Today's our topic is theory of history. Under that we have to study ancient period, medieval period and modern period. Under theory of history, ancient period, we have to cover the Greco-Roman, ancient Indian, Chinese historiography. While medieval period, we have to focus on church and Arabic and Persian historiography. Well, modern period, many theories are there, but under this lecture, I will cover only romantic, positivist, annals. Even rank is separate. I will take that lecture. So here, first of all, let's see the Greco-Roman historiography. All this theory of history, only brief highlighted, only study in this lecture. Then Greek historiography. What is the Greek historiography? What they have focused on it. While we are studying the Greek historiography, the Greek scholars made a wonderful contribution in the sphere of historiography. They made it a very powerful branch of knowledge like that of literature and philosophy. The Greeks, being historical minded, produced one of the first historical literature. Besides being interested in the genealogy of their families, the Greeks were also having a deep desire to know geography and ethnography. Hence, they were encouraged to produce historical writings which were full of geographical and ethnography information. So, this is brief introduction about the Greek historiography. Under that, most of the Greek historiographers, under that, basically we have to study. It is a clearly humanistic historiography they have written. Inquiry, criticism, and analysis system they have adopted, and history was treated as a self-revelatory. And under that, some historians comes under that Herodotus, Thucydides, and Polybius. Uh, Under Greek historians, the famous Greek historiographer is Herodotus. He was also called as a father of history because of many historical. He made history as a interesting one. On the basis of sources, we have to study history. First-hand information, you have to take the field visit, then write whatever happened. Exact history he mentioned. That's why he was called as a father of history. And in his works, we find political affairs, use of evidence, history of science, introducing history on nation to another rational view. His style is very easy, familiar as well as graceful. Means simple history writing he has mentioned in his writing. And his topic was Persian War. Even if we study his special features of historiography, that besides writing about political affairs, he threw light on various social and cultural practice of the time. In order to construct the history, he made extensive use of the evidence. No source, no history. So before that, Herodotus used that practically. While writing history, the tradition of introducing history of one nation to another was also started by him. That is one great contribution. And legend writing was changed to history of science by Herodotus. What a history of science we have mentioned in this topic. He restored it to rational view and depicted the reason as to what men have done and why he restored it to. So what exactly happened, that was he wanted to write history. Then some other historians writings also there. Then other Greek historians also there. Then directly we go to the Herodotus and Thucydides have attained immortal fame in the field of history, and they left an indelible impression on the minds of the readers and scholars even today. The world remembers them with great respect for their historical writings. Then directly we go to the Roman historiography. Roman historiographers are behind the Greek. Their writings did not have as much sharpness as Greek. Therefore, Romans are supposed to parallel to the Greek. The Romans proved to be merely imitative and pragmatic. They did not pay any attention to the art of writing history as for long time. Consequently, they failed to produce any historian of the level of Herodotus and Thucydides. But some Roman historians, also famous Roman historians we find here, like Livy, Caesar, Seleucus, and Tacitus. Then again, what was the style of the Livy if we find? Then Livy possessed vast knowledge of history and there was sufficient clarity in his writings. He taught his readers through the lessons of the past and endeavored to put before the readers the traditional records of the early Roman history. He produced a very clear picture before his readers. His narrative is quite clear and attractive, like Thucydides. He made history dialectical. That work done by the Livy. Then other historians also there, but we have to find the differences because in Roman historiography we also find that the humanistic approach, then man was a central figure. Great attention was paid to the achievement of the man by great historians and eminent writers. Even contemporary events also involved in their writing. Even political leaders appears also involved in these writings. Then what the difference between the Romans and Greek historiography? The Romans historiographers were merely the followers of the Greek. They had no comparison with the Greeks, for they were very advanced in their outlook. There were many differences between the two schools of historiographers. The following few points I have mentioned here. The Greeks discuss all the vital and significant issues of life, whereas the Romans did not describe the basic question of life. The Greek historiographer emphasized finding truth and they had analytical approach in his writings. But the Roman did not make effort to inquire into the cause of events, nor did they pay many attention towards finding truth before writing his writings. The Greeks clarified the Greeks clarified all the controversial issues, but the Romans did not make efforts to the solution of the intricate issues. The Greeks, in order to keep into life, raised the level of history, but the Romans' behavior towards life was incorrect and partial. Greeks also referred to the humanism in these works and widened the scope of history, while the Romans were confined to political and military history. So these are the few differences fine, but the Romans and Greek historiography were a lot of contribution to theory of history. Then directly we go to the ancient Indian history writings. It is widely recognized that ancient India produced two great historian and no written history. Al-Biruni declared the Hindus do no pay much attention to the historical order of the things. They are very careless in relating the chronological succession of their kings, and when they are pressed for information, do at a loss not know what to say, they invariably take to the tale-telling. It means history was existing at the time, but chronology was missing there. And they also contributed to history. Many sources of available while writing the ancient Indian history, archaeological as well as written sources are also there. Even we take archaeological inscriptions, coins, monuments, caves. These all are given a lot of information about history. Even some, while writing the history, ancient India, there are some traditions, chronicles, foreign accounts. These are also give us a lot of information. But while writing collecting the ancient Indian history, we face a lot of problems. But some historians also existing in ancient period like Banabhatta's Harshacharitra, Billana's Vikramanka Devacharitra, Kalana's Rajatarangiनी. These all give us a authentic history of ancient period, basically ancient Indian history. Some problems we face while writing the ancient Indian history, like the absence of source material and absence of historians. Then explanation of absence of historical sense also that time we find. Then problem of chronology 1, 2, 3, 4. That chronology was very missing we find in while writing the ancient Indian history. Then the Vamsha and Charitra also confusing a lot to us. Then difficult to identify names, the same names are repeated. Non-availability of research materials, that is also we find there. even the difficulty of disparaging subjective history writing. Basically the objective what scientific objective history we learn to today, that basically at that time the subjective history writing is there and the material is not available in one place, it is scattered all over India and other parts. That is also one thing we find here. Then difficult procuring the confidential materials also. So here we find many difficulties uh, uh, find while writing the ancient Indian history. But people are recorded those some chronicles, ballads, legends, Puranas, Vamshacharitra. Some historians writing also give us a lot of information about the ancient Indian history and culture. Then we go to the Chinese historiography. Chinese civilization is one of the oldest civilization of the world, and scholars have been writing history since pre-Christian era. But the Chinese are very cultural bound people, and they have considered their culture superior. So they did not have much interest in maintaining contact with the other nations of the world. Their superiority complex proved to be a hindrance in their historical writing. That is why they could not develop comparative and critical outlook. In fact, Chinese regarded history as one of the five classics and wrote history in the language of common man. According to them, historiography possessed an ethical function, and that of the frightening the bad and encouraging the good. So this is means it's their moral duty to maintain the record about their culture, tradition, and history. So Chinese people are very much interested to record everything in detail. Uh, Again, the features of Chinese historiography, if we see in ancient time, some historians also mention Susuma Chen, then to Yu, Matthew Lin, Liu Owen, Susan King, and others. They wanted to establish the cultural superiority. Already I mentioned that. Then Chinese main features of Chinese historiography is that authentic also. They have start their own method of writing, and they keep every record in a detailed manner from ancient to till modern period. Then go to the medieval period, that is church historiography. In medieval period, trace the main characteristic of church historiography and throw light on the shortcomings. B. Sheikh Ali, a historian, mentioned in his book that from the national approach of the Greeks and the political treatment of the Romans in the ancient period, we have to pass on to the church and the Arab historiography of the medieval period, which is characterized by the hold of religion on the minds of the man. Means religion played a major role in this period. Actually, church history played an important role in the medieval historiography. During this period, religion had complete control over every person, and the historical events were explained not in accordance with the political events and persons, but according to history was given serious attention at the hands of the church to divine forces and Arab scholars. Some scholars also mention this church historiography, historical phenomena, nature of historical forces, single chronicle framework, evolved a special technique, Christian historiography as a central idea find in church historiography. Then division of history we also find in church historiography. For example, the historians of Christian period can easily be divided into two parts, such as religion and secular. The former believed that the idea of history was guided by God himself, while the others were known as the pagan historians. Both types of history was chiefly the monopoly of the saints and were written simultaneously during the Renaissance period. So new interpretation of history also we find here. Basically, the church historian under the Eusebius, Saint Augustine, Severus of Paul, John of Doris, and everything as a part of eternity they have mentioned, and God involved is made in major role we find in church historiography, because everything they have written in a systematic, but at last they have mentioned that whatever happened because of the will of Jesus Christ, means will of God, they have mentioned that one. Historians gave a thesis to character and outlook of history we find in church historiography. Saint Augustine was the famous historian of this period, and he also given very good contribution to history writing. And his Complexity of God of Saint Augustine, which is the book, very famous book. Then again, we find that in medieval period, while we are studying the church historiography, what they have done, history as a divine plan they have mentioned, lack of critical outlook we find there, then lack of source material also we find there, then emphasis on quantity they have mentioned, and neglecting of historical method, that is the basic thing. And that time, whatever those who are writing history, they also neglected the socio-economic history. So we find some defect in medieval history writing. Then directly we go to the medieval period, Arab historiography. In under Arab historiography, we also find the theological in some respect and scientific in many other. Then Islamic point of history writing also find in this period. Some court historians also we find in this period. Court historian, while they are writing history, they are appreciating more and more about the rulers, their affairs and other things. Exact history they have less we find, but appreciation king history we find there. Then Persian historiography, theology in some respect, and scientific in many other. But Islamic point of history, like church historiography, this also author also given importance to Islamic point of view. Everything whatever happened because of Allah, they have mentioned in their writing, and some court historians also find out in the medieval period. In medieval period, when we are found out the Indian history point of view, that as well archaeological as well as numismatic sources also give us lot of information. While we take the example of medieval period in Delhi Sultanate, at that time, so many historians contributed under that, the Chachanama, Al-Biruni, Hussein Nizami, Ziauddin Barani, Shamsi Siraj Afif, Amir Khushro, they also given a lot of information about the medieval period, this history, even while compared to the Mughal period, we found the Babar Nama, even Gulbadan Begum Humayun Nama, Abul Fazl's Akbar Nama, Aine Akbari, as well as Gulshan Ibrahim's books, Kaifi Khan's Muktafu ul Lubab. These are the few accounts. Even foreigners also visited. They are also given information about this period, medieval period, as compared to Indian history. So this time, balanced history we find in this time. Islamic historiography is not. Historiography is called Isnad. In terms of travel accounts, chronicles, annals, biography, and even the realm of ideas, the period witnessed significant changes that herald the dawn of the modern period. Means some changes we find in this period from ancient to medieval, medium to modern period. Then theory of history in modern period, while we are studying, it's a lot of changes we find in modern period. The age of rationalism also started. Then again, the age of romanticism, age of what we say, positivism, then age of annals history writing, age of scientific history writing, idealist history writing. These all the history writing we find in the modern period. But in my lecture, I explain only two, three modern period theory writing. One is romantist, then another one is positivist, then annals history writing. Rank is take a separate lecture for it. So in Romantist history writing, before Romantist, there is a one period we called as a rationalism. During the medieval period, hope and religion were given much importance in history writings. Likewise, there was much place was also given about war, places of kings and queens and their lifestyles, etc. in historical accounts. The historian paid very little attention to the common social condition, lives of common men. During 17th and 18th centuries, many inventions and discoveries were made which brought the fundamental changes in the life and thinking of men. There was intellectual awakening. Thus, some happened on art of writing and historiography was given a new dimension. Now the events were recorded systematically. The historians began to pay more attention to the lives, customs, manners of people. They changed their approach. Now they were not contented only with arranging the facts in chronological order. They started to narrate the event comprehensively. Thus, stress was given to the lives, customs of the people. There was an important change that history also started to establish relativistic geography. So, this time the rationally thinking works were started at that time, and many historians also erase rationalism in time. These important works were Travels of Marco Polo, Travels Sir John Mardens, as well as the fact is many works were written about India also at that time. Then later on, Montesquieu and rationalism also there, Rousseau and rationalism also there. And the rationalist period had a number of drawbacks also. The historians of this age went to great extent in condemning Middle Ages as period of barbarism. During this age, the reason was given too much importance, rationally thinking. Uh, but the historian did not try to improve the method of historical research. In fact, it is noteworthy that the writers of this age contributed a lot in the field of historiography. So here the again one more changes we find rationalism to romanticism. In this time, everything is not depend on rationalism. The romantist historian they argued that romantic approach is the establishing human life on a pure, basic feeling involved in your writing. Faith, feeling, imagination, and mystery sentiments also necessary. Historians Rousseau and Herder characters they also mentioned, and the, when sentiments, other things involved, the widening scope of history started. History as a progress form we find in this period. A new way of looking at history started is the time. Emphasis on cultural, natural culture, and national characters also find in this romantic period history writing. Some drawbacks also find in romantic history writing. They believed that each nation should be self-sufficient unity of human culture, which was not possible at all. So they did not try to promote international understanding and to develop universal culture. The romantic historiography had deep faith in the way of God, which are mysteries, and that what was happening of earth was bound to happen. That was also made by these historians. Anyway, this after that the positivist history writing is started. So this during the age of modern historiography, rationalism, romanticism, and positivism developed. The historians of each age were influenced by the contemporary developments and produced their accounts. As a result, history writing flourished. There was constant change in the method, style, and views. So this change led to the strengthened historiography. The romantic historiography declined in the middle of the 19th century. Then again comes the positivist historiography. So here, the just as romanticism was the reaction to the Enlightenment, positivism was a reaction to the romanticism. Romanticism tells us that human knowledge cannot go beyond the human experience and that any inquiry into the historical phenomena should be restricted to the scientific mode. Then last comes the annals schools of history writing. So annals originally meant annual information, literary years, entry or record of events set it in a strict chronological order, yearbook. The annals grew out of religious practice chronicle. So here annals according to scientific systematic and annual reports has to keep and they have written that writing in a detailed manner. So some annals historians also we find that Lucien Febvre, Henry Sucher, Max Bloch, Ferdinand Roll, Robert Monroe. So these are the annals historians. They have written about history writing. So in this annals historians, they have kept every record in a detailed manner. So thank you very much for listening my lecture. Thank you one and all. So in this lecture, I have briefed everything, only highlighted about those history writing. Thank you.